I thought Thomas Massie was going to win. Nothing's calmed down. It's toxic. It's getting worse. I would say the worst actors have learned the wrongest of lessons on the internet, and they are acting in the way that they think got them the victory, as though, even if it were true, acting like a bunch of toxic, shameless, remorseless bullies, that's somehow going to mean long-term success, which it won't. But it's an ugly, ugly environment on X right now. It almost makes you want to just tune out of it. But you need to still know what people are saying, know what the arguments are, and know where the fight is. But no, Thomas Massie lost. It's disappointing for me, not because I was out there stumping for Massie. I wasn't. I like Massie. I don't think he's at all the demon that people have made him out to be. What got me vocal in all of this was the absolute nastiness, the hypocritical nature of the attacks on Thomas Massie. And I'm not one to sit around, not that Thomas Massie needed me to defend him. I don't put up with crap. I don't like hypocrisy, and I don't like people being unfair even in battle. And what was done to Massie was the dirtiest, nastiest, most hypocritical attacks on a human who, even if you don't want him to win, you go about it in a way that shows human decency, not in a way that makes you worse than the left in their attacks on Massie. So that's what pissed me off about it. Now that they won, they think, all's fair in love and war, and they're the righteous ones, and they were vindicated, and they learned the wrong lessons, because I think long-term, this might be a victory, but it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah, he got taken by politics. I mean, J.D. Vance was speaking about him in November or October, saying that, we've got such delicate political balance underway. This guy always voting against us, he's going to get eventually taken out. And he just was observing. He wasn't saying, I'm going to try to take you out. He was saying, gosh, we can't have him running amok all the time because the politics have gotten so difficult. I am sorry to see this mind out of the mix. He's such a brilliant dude. And he philosophically stands up for what he believes, which I like also.
Well, let me just so people don't scream at the screen. JD said that. The reality is he doesn't vote against Republicans all of the time. It's a big fat lie. I have my bowling league, and I'm talking to two older generation guys, and I say, I'm on my phone, and like, what are you doing on your phone? And like, oh, it's the Kentucky primaries. I'm going to be a little distracted tonight. And they go, oh, what's going on in Kentucky? I was like, Thomas Massie versus Ed Galbraith. Oh, you didn't know? Isn't he the anti-Trump guy? The branding of Massie as anti-Trump, that he votes against Republicans all the time, it's a lie. It's a piece of propaganda that if anybody catches themselves repeating it, congrats, you've been duped, and I say it with no judgment, by the propaganda. And I appreciate the argument that you burn enough political goodwill, they'll come back and bite you, especially when they carry the bigger end of the stick. And everyone says he voted against the one big beautiful bill because he wanted to defund ICE. I mean, it's a lie. That's not why he voted against it. He had good reasons for voting against it. But yeah, it highlights the reality that in politics, there's little room for principles. So you have to compromise your principles if you want to play politics and not have those who carry the bigger end of the stick beating you down with it because they have the power to do so.
Or something, I forget which of our founding fathers used this word frequently, was prudence. When is prudential approach, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day, right? And so you have to and I feel like we've lost someone with him. I hope he does something interesting. I mean, he's got such a great, also, didn't he have like eight terms or something? Isn't it about time he stepped out?
He's been there for a long time, and people say he did nothing for Kentucky in the 12 or 13 years. Look, you live to fight another day if you fight wisely. And some people say, well, now he lost. We don't know what chapter of the book we're at right now. Above and beyond having lost Massie, he was the only one out there, really, who was opposing the FISA 702 renewal. He was one of the voices out there opposing immunity for glyphosate manufacturers. He was one of the voices out there against the COVID jab, for agricultural independence. And so for people to say he was anti-Trump and he was a Democrat, that's political nastiness. To come in and mock him and demean him and demonize him for having had allegedly relations with women too soon after his wife died, of 31 years and apparently a monogamous relationship. And like, you mother effers, this is exactly what they did to Erica Kirk. And you guys were jumping down their throats, as was I, vocally shaming anybody who dared say Erica's not grieving the way I think a woman should grieve. How dare she put her hands in J.D. Vance's hair? And then those very same people turn around and say, Thomas Massie was dating too soon after his wife died. That's your ethical standard right now, and they don't understand how hypocritical it is, given the amount of very prominent politicians who have had open affairs on their spouses. And so, what really drove me just to get vocal about it was there's fairness in the battle, and then there's just disgusting nastiness. And now they've gotten away realizing you can pull out the Brett Kavanaugh bogus sexual deviancy allegations and it wins. It works. It's disgusting when they do it to Kavanaugh. It was disgusting when they did it to Trump. It was bullcrap when E.G. and Carroll came out with 35-year-old allegations. But now somebody comes out and says, I had a relationship, allegedly, but not even necessarily physical, with Thomas Massie after his wife died of 31 years. And that's the level of immorality that they now find disqualifying. I mean, look, you don't even have to like Thomas Massie to know what principles are to stand up for fairness in life. And if you didn't, fine. If you got away with it now, sorry, go for it. I'm just
completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. And yet, really, are you surprised?
I'm disappointed, Dr. Drew.
Yes, disappointed.
The reality is,
I am too. I'm disappointed all the time, constantly.
Yeah, and it's not just the loss of Massie. That's a loss in and of itself, although we've got 7 more months and we'll see what happens in those 7 months. It's the lessons that were learned. And this victory will go down, I think, more as a Pyrrhic victory than a meaningful victory, because it's nice. Oh, great. You beat Thomas Massie in a registered primary, Republican primary in Kentucky. If you think that what happened to Thomas Massie is going to be good long-term for the MAGA, MAHA coalition that won 2024, you're delusional. You're just drunk on your own bully power right now. And when it comes to bite you in the ass, you're going to blame the very same people that you've been abusing for the last however many months. And so that's what really bothers me is long term, I believe this is going to be net positive for Democrats, because this is really, soured a lot of people's views who are the most vocal MAGA coalition that led to Trump getting elected in 2024. And I'm genuinely concerned for what this holds for 2026 and 2028.